Diatoms, a game of microscopic proportions, is based on a game where people make mosaics out of microscopic algae, which is an actual thing that I did not know about. So this game has taught me something new today. Now, this is all an excuse for making an abstract strategy style game where you're going to be collecting different shapes of colors, placing them in front of you and scoring points. Let's take a look.
So in this game, there's going to be these water tiles. One starts here in the middle of the board, and players are going to have their own playing board here, but we'll come back to that in a second. On your turn, you will be placing these tiles. You'll place a tile from your hand down so that it matches on the different sides, and the tiles can be rotated. And you're going to be forming points here. When you form a point sample, you're going to put this token on to see what colors you have found. So in this case, I found a size 2 blue and a size 2 red. And so when that happens, you're going to take a look at these Petri dishes here. And these Petri dishes have 5 different shapes of different colors. So if you have one, essentially the circle has a single side. This has 2 sides, the oval. The triangle has 3, the square has 4, and the star has 5. And whichever shapes that you make, you're going to put here. And let's say I got a 5-sided blue star for whatever reason. I can put it here because stars can go there. I can't put a star there. And you can see which shapes are going to go into the various areas. If you make a 6 when you place things out, then you have to split that. So I might say, the 6 is a 4 and a 2. So I put out a square, and then I put out an oval. And players are going to keep doing this until all the water tiles are placed. I did want to point out there, this is a very nice way of showing how the diatom tiles are placed out. But it also, you have these little booklets here, these little field notes that show you how scoring is done at the end of the game. And the score sheets that you have will walk you through all the different kinds of scoring. You're going to just try to match colors. You're going to count how many you have of each color. The more you have of a color, the more points you're going to get. Then you will have symmetric pairs on lines. Do you have the exact same thing across from each other? Then you're going to get matches depending on where it is in the circle rings. Then you're going to get different shapes. Each ring you want as many different shapes as possible. And you check them off here, and you want to try to get all 5 shapes, which is 40 points. And then this is a little bit of explanation, but you can also play with some guest judges, which give you another way to score points. Each guest judge here, you get extra points for ones in the outer ring. Comes in an easy mode or a persnickety mood judge where you will lose points if you do not meet this. It's not really that much harder. It just means there's a way to possibly lose some points. Most points, winner.
Before we go any farther, I would like to talk about components. The components for this game are unbelievable. There's one minor issue I had, and that is I think the purple and the red in certain lights, a lot of lights I played in, were very hard to distinguish from each other. Now, they have different symbols on them, so it's not a big deal. But the game, you can buy like these wooden piece upgrades, and I thought the wooden piece upgrades were vastly superior. I do like everything else there. I like the fact that your board shows you what shapes fit in there, but the score sheets are amazing. I don't ever have to explain to people all the different scoring methods because they're listed on your score sheet right in front of you, and it walks you through them one at a time. This is kind of the Feld game of sorts of abstract strategy games because it is just you get points for doing everything, and you can't do everything. I want as many different colors, different shapes in a circle, but I want these 2 exact ones opposite each other. But I also want to do this and that, and then there's also the rule of the rules that you're trying to follow, and you can play with more than one rule. You can play with harder rules, and so that's interesting. What keeps me from thinking this game is amazing, and I do like it, I'm giving this game a 7 out of 10. What keeps me from thinking this game is amazing is that I think putting out the tiles in the middle of the table is the weakest part of the game. You're kind of just looking for colors that you can do. And I never felt like I was making too many particularly clever game, things there. Because you're restricted by matching colors and sides to each other, there's not too often too many places that you can put out tiles to get a lot of things. And so that gets kind of less exciting as the game progresses. I think you can run out of shapes too, and there's like a ton of stars, but you're not going to be making that many of the 5 shapes. So I thought it was odd that there's the same number of stars as there is, say, circles or ovals. I think you'll find more ovals probably than anything else. But it is interesting. It's fun. I don't know particularly, like I said, how much strategy is in the game, but there is a lot of thought. And when you collect objects, where you put them on your board is, I think, the actual game, not the tile placement part. And that part is the part I enjoy the most. So that's Diatoms. Like I said, now you can do that microscopic algae decorating.